Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin exhibits a downtrend. The RSI consistently hovers below 80, indicating a lack of strong overbought conditions, and dips below 40 on several occasions, suggesting oversold periods. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within a range, but the forecast suggests a continued decline. The support price is 72,800, and the resistance price is 78,800. Considering these factors, I recommend a short selling strategy. Specifically, when the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, initiate a short position at $75,100. Set a stop-loss order at $76,400 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price is $73,300, aligning with the forecast and support level. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate an RSI-based exit condition. If the RSI falls below 20 during the trade, it signals a potential oversold bounce, and it is advisable to exit the position at $75,500 to secure some profit and mitigate further losses. This blended approach combines Bollinger Band signals for entry and stop-loss management with RSI for dynamic exit points, aiming for a more adaptive and profitable short selling strategy in the current downtrend. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a clear downtrend. The price has been consistently falling, with the forecast indicating further declines. The support price of 2020 has been tested multiple times, and the RSI has been consistently below 50, often dipping into oversold territory. The Bollinger Bands are also widening, suggesting increased volatility and a potential continuation of the downward trend. Therefore, I recommend a short selling strategy. We will enter a short position at $2,080, placing a stop-loss order at $2,110 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly reverses. The initial target price will be $1,980, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated decline. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI reaches an oversold level of 30 or below, we will consider adding to our short position at $2,050, with a stop-loss adjusted to $2,080 and a target price of $1,940. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could signal a potential bounce. However, given the overall downtrend, we will treat this as a temporary dip and maintain our short position, adjusting the stop-loss to the lower Bollinger Band level, which is $2,040. This approach combines trend analysis with momentum indicators to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a slight upward trend, consolidating between a support of $624 and a resistance of $658. The RSI fluctuates between 47.4 and 68.9, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest volatility, with the price frequently touching or crossing the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My proposed strategy involves a long position. We will enter a long position at $645 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 55. Set a stop-loss at $624, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is $658, aligning with the resistance level. If the price reaches $658, we will consider a second target price of $679, based on the previous high. This strategy combines trend confirmation with volatility indicators to maximize potential gains while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a downtrend with decreasing forecast prices. The RSI values are generally below 60, indicating a weak momentum and potential for further decline. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering these factors, a short selling strategy is recommended. We will initiate a short position at $1.36. The stop-loss will be set at $1.37 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rebounds. The initial target price will be $1.33, aiming to capitalize on the predicted downward trend. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, oversold, we will hold the short position, anticipating a potential bounce. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider covering the short position or tightening the stop loss. The second target price will be $1.31, further maximizing potential profits. This combined approach leverages both trend analysis and technical indicators for a more robust and adaptable investment approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a downtrend with consistent support around $84.3 and resistance around $88.9. The RSI values have been fluctuating, but generally trending downward, indicating weakening momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting, suggesting decreasing volatility and a potential breakout. Considering this, I propose a short-selling strategy with a focus on capitalizing on the downtrend. We will enter a short position at $86.3, placing a stop-loss order at $88.9 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price will be $84.3, aligning with the established support level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI falls below 40, indicating oversold conditions, we will consider covering our short position early. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could signal a potential bounce, prompting a reassessment of the short position. If the price continues to decline and reaches $84.3, we will move our stop loss to break even and then set a new target price at $85.1, aiming for a more conservative profit. This combined approach leverages both trend analysis and technical indicators for a more robust and adaptable investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently hovers near overbought territory, with values frequently exceeding 70, peaking at 83.2. This indicates strong buying pressure, but also a potential for a pullback. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is near the upper band, suggesting it might be vulnerable to a correction. Given this, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on potential pullbacks. We will initiate a long position at $0.364, anticipating a minor retracement before the price continues its upward trajectory. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $0.355, right at the support level. For the target price, I set it at $0.367, just above the forecast high. This provides a reasonable profit margin while accounting for the potential for further gains. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI is above 70 and the price is near the upper Bollinger Band, it suggests a potential short-term pullback. By entering at $0.364, we aim to capitalize on this anticipated retracement, with a stop-loss at $0.355 to protect against significant losses and a target price of $0.367 to secure profits. This portfolio prioritizes a balance between potential gains and risk mitigation, aligning with a high-returns investment approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slightly downward trend with high volatility. The RSI fluctuates between 43.1 and 67.4, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands are widening, suggesting increasing price volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy with a conservative approach. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $0.102. To manage risk, the stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.099. The target price will be set at the middle Bollinger Band, which is $0.107, aiming for a moderate profit. For the upcoming week's forecast, the price is expected to hover around $0.103 to $0.104. Given the conservative strategy, we will maintain the long position as long as the price stays above the support level of $0.101. If the price breaks below the support, we will exit the position to minimize losses. If the price reaches the target of $0.107, we will secure the profit. If the price continues to rise beyond $0.107, we will consider trailing the stop loss upwards to protect the gains while potentially capturing further upside. This approach balances risk and reward, aligning with a high returns investment strategy in a volatile market. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash shows a volatile trend with recent upward momentum. The RSI consistently above 70 indicates overbought conditions, suggesting a potential pullback. The forecast anticipates a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $684. Considering the support at $572 and resistance at $610, and the Bollinger Bands, I recommend a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands signals. We will enter a long position at $618 when the price breaks above the recent resistance and the forecast confirms the upward movement. A stop loss will be placed at $584, just below the recent low, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is set at $668, aligning with the forecast high for the week. To maximize returns, we will implement a dynamic trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $668, we will move the stop-loss to $618, securing profits while allowing for further upside. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the stop-loss to protect profits. The final target price will be $684, based on the peak of the forecast range. This strategy leverages the anticipated upward trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss placements and dynamic adjustments. This portfolio offers a high return opportunity with controlled risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a downtrend. The RSI consistently remains below 80, indicating the asset is not overbought. However, the RSI has been fluctuating, nearing the oversold level of 20. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering this, I recommend a contrarian strategy focused on potential short-term rebounds. We will initiate a long position at $0.234, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. A stop loss will be placed at $0.23 to limit potential losses if the downtrend continues. The target price is set at $0.249, aligning with the recent resistance level and a potential bounce back point. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 20, we will hold the position with a reduced risk exposure. If the RSI rises above 60, we will consider taking partial profits at $0.243. This blended approach combines trend analysis with momentum indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk. The overall strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations within a prevailing downtrend, with a focus on quick profits and tight risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash demonstrates a clear downtrend, supported by the declining closing prices and the forecast indicating further decreases. The RSI consistently dips below 30, indicating oversold conditions. Given the current RSI of 24.5 on May 22, 2026, and the forecast for continued decline, I recommend a short position. Entry price will be $371. A stop loss should be placed above the recent resistance level at $398, setting it at $403 to protect against a potential reversal. The initial target price is set at $343, aligning with the forecast price on May 29, 2026. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. The price has consistently traded below the upper band, reinforcing the bearish sentiment. The bottom Bollinger Band is currently at $355, providing a secondary target. If the price reaches $343, we can consider a partial profit taking and adjust the stop loss to break even to secure gains. The final portfolio will consist of a short position with an entry price of $371, a stop loss at $403, and a target price of $343, with a secondary target at $355 for partial profit taking and risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, just shows an overall upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a defined range between support at $0.0915 and resistance at $0.0939. The RSI values have been oscillating around the midpoint, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for price movement. The forecast data for the next week projects a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $0.0969. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $0.0933. A stop-loss order should be placed just below the support level at $0.0915, specifically at $0.0914, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be set at the upper end of the forecast range, $0.0969, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated upward movement. To refine the strategy, I will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we could consider a long entry. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, suggesting an overbought condition, we might consider taking profits or exiting the position. The Bollinger Bands can help predict price movement. When the price touches the lower band, it indicates a potential buying opportunity. When the price touches the upper band, it indicates a potential selling opportunity. Combining these signals, I recommend adjusting the target price to $0.0968, slightly below the forecast high, to ensure a reasonable profit margin. The final portfolio will be a long position with an entry price of $0.0933, a stop-loss at $0.0914, and a target price of $0.0968, incorporating both trend analysis and technical indicators for enhanced risk management and potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Falcon Finance demonstrates an overall upward trend, consistently testing and breaching the resistance level of $0.0891. The RSI fluctuates between 42.2 and 72.2, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is moving towards the upper band, suggesting bullish momentum. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0886 on May 23, 2026, coinciding with the first forecast price. The stop-loss will be set at $0.085, just above the support level of $0.071 and below the lower Bollinger Band to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.0912, aligning with the forecast price for May 24, 2026. To optimize returns, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $0.0912, we will move the stop-loss to $0.087. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the stop-loss accordingly, always maintaining a buffer above the recent low. The final target price will be $0.0944, based on the forecast price for May 29, 2026. This approach combines the benefits of an initial target with the potential for capturing further gains as the trend unfolds. This portfolio strategy aims to maximize profits while mitigating risks through strategic entry, stop-loss, and target price adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance shows a downtrend with increasing volatility. The RSI consistently falls below 50, indicating bearish momentum. The forecast for the next week suggests continued downward pressure, with prices hovering around $0.197. Considering the support price of $0.196, a conservative strategy would involve shorting Artificial Superintelligence Alliance when the price touches the support level. Therefore, I recommend entering a short position at $0.196. To manage risk, set a stop-loss slightly above the recent high, at $0.198. For the target price, aiming for a 5% profit would be reasonable, setting the target at $0.186. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it indicates a potential oversold condition, which aligns with our bearish outlook. However, given the strong downtrend, it's crucial to maintain a cautious approach. Therefore, the combined strategy involves shorting Artificial Superintelligence Alliance at $0.196, setting a stop-loss at $0.198, and targeting a profit of $0.186. This approach balances the signals from the RSI and Bollinger Bands while acknowledging the prevailing downtrend. This portfolio is the most efficient strategy because it combines the information from all indicators. Based on the historical data and forecast, IOTA has been exhibiting a sideways trend with fluctuating RSI levels and Bollinger Bands. The RSI is currently at 49.7, indicating a neutral position, but has previously dipped below 40, suggesting potential oversold conditions. The forecast prices show a slight upward trend, hovering around $0.057 to $0.0586. Considering the support level at $0.0577, I recommend a long position when the price reaches $0.0573. Place a stop-loss order at $0.0567 to limit potential losses. For the target price, aim for $0.061, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and previous resistance levels. To refine this strategy, incorporate the Bollinger Bands for price prediction. If the price breaks below the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential downward movement, reinforcing a more conservative stop-loss placement. Conversely, a move above the upper Bollinger Band suggests a potential breakout, prompting a higher target price. Combining the RSI and Bollinger Bands, a buy signal can be generated when the RSI is below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, with a target price of $0.062 and a stop-loss at $0.056. This combined approach should yield a more efficient and adaptable investment strategy for IOTA. Based on the historical data and forecast, the graph shows a slight upward trend, consolidating between the support price of $0.025 and a resistance of $0.0289. The RSI fluctuates between 42.4 and 70.0, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility, which could be followed by a breakout. Considering this, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 45.3 and then rebounds, aiming to capitalize on the potential upward momentum. Specifically, let's enter a long position at $0.0254 when the RSI dips below 45.3. Our stop loss will be set at $0.0247, just below the recent support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.0264, aligning with the forecast price for May 29, 2026, and also considering the recent resistance levels. If the price reaches $0.0264, we can either take profits or move the stop loss to break even to protect gains and potentially ride the upward trend further. This strategy combines RSI signals, support and resistance levels, and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Injective shows a generally upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI has frequently crossed above 70, indicating overbought conditions, while the price has tested the resistance level of $5.25. The forecast for the next week suggests a continuation of this upward momentum, with prices expected to reach $5.56. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 60, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, when the RSI drops below 60 and the price is near the support level of $4.56, enter at $4.56. Set a stop-loss order at $4.3 to limit potential losses. The target price will be determined using the Bollinger Bands and resistance levels. When the price approaches the upper band, consider taking profits. If the price reaches $5.56, which is the forecast high, that will be our target price. To refine the strategy, we can use the Bollinger Bands to identify potential entry and exit points. If the price breaks above the upper band, it suggests a strong upward momentum, and we can consider increasing our position. Conversely, if the price falls below the lower band, it signals a potential reversal, and we should exit the position or tighten our stop loss. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach should maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Terra Luna Classic shows a slightly upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 48 and 67, generally indicating neutral to slightly bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. The forecast predicts a continuation of this upward trend, albeit with some fluctuations. Therefore, my investment strategy will focus on capitalizing on short-term pullbacks within this broader uptrend. My strategy is a combined approach leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands, with support and resistance levels as key anchors. I recommend entering a long position at $0.0000837, coinciding with a potential bounce from the lower Bollinger Band and a favorable forecast price. A stop loss should be placed at $0.0000750, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $0.0000876, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price breaks through this target, a second target of $0.0000916 can be considered, reflecting the recent resistance level. This strategy aims to capture gains from the anticipated upward movement while mitigating risk with well-defined stop-loss and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cosmos Hub shows a slight upward trend, consolidating between support at $2.01 and resistance at $2.08. The RSI fluctuates between 52.5 and 71.7, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility followed by a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $2.07 on May 23, 2026, when the forecast price indicates a potential upward movement. The stop loss will be set at $2.01, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $2.11, aligning with the forecast price for May 25, 2026, and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, which is not anticipated in the near future, we would consider a long position. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it would also signal a potential buying opportunity. If the price reaches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking profits or tightening the stop loss. For this strategy, if the price reaches $2.11, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $2.07 to protect profits. We will then set a secondary target price at $2.14, based on the historical upper Bollinger Band, to maximize potential gains. This combined approach leverages both trend analysis and technical indicators for a more robust investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Quant exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently testing and bouncing off the support price of $75.2. The RSI values fluctuate, but generally remain within a range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a narrowing trend, suggesting potential volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will use a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands to refine our entry and exit points. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 50 and the price touches the support level of $75.2. The entry price will be $75.2. We will place a stop-loss order at $73.4 to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks below the support. The initial target price will be $81, the previous resistance level. If the price reaches $81, we will consider moving the stop-loss to break even to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. The forecast data suggests a price range between $75.0 and $77.3 for the next week, supporting a conservative approach with a focus on capturing short-term gains while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, midnight has been fluctuating within a defined range with a support price of $0.032 and a resistance price of $0.0343. The RSI has been hovering around the 40 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of contraction and expansion, suggesting potential volatility. Given the current RSI level and the forecast prices slightly below the recent close, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the price dips towards the support level of $0.032. The stop loss will be set just below the support at $0.0318 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $0.0343, aiming for a quick profit. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price approaches the bottom band around $0.0295, it signals an oversold condition, potentially triggering a buy. However, given the current trend, we'll prioritize the support level entry. If the price reaches the top band around $0.0348, it indicates an overbought condition, suggesting we might consider taking profits or tightening the stop loss. The final portfolio will be a blend of these signals, with the primary entry at $0.032, a stop loss at $0.0318, and a target price of $0.0343. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the anticipated upward movement while protecting against potential downturns.